The late 19th and early 20th centuries were a vibrant period in India's history, marked by a surge of nationalism and a rising demand for independence from British rule. It was a time when the scent of rebellion permeated the air, its potency fueled by the discontent of a nation yearning for freedom. The Indian subcontinent was at the time in the grip of the British Empire, an entity known for its iron-fisted rule and the oppression of its subjects. The Indian populace, however, was not one to be silenced. The people's spirit was indomitable, their desire for liberty unquenchable. In this climate of resistance, the Indian independence movement found its roots. It was a vast, multifaceted campaign comprising diverse strategies and tactics. Nonviolent civil disobedience, spearheaded by figures such as Mahatma Gandhi, is perhaps the most well-known facet of this struggle. Yet, there was another side to this coin, a side characterized by passion, defiance, and an untamed will to break free. This was the age of the revolutionaries, young men and women who dared to challenge the might of the empire. They were driven by a burning desire to see their homeland freed from the shackles of colonial rule. Their methods were often radical, their actions bold and fearless. They were prepared to pay the ultimate price for the cause they held dear, and many indeed did. Among these brave souls was a young man from Bengal, barely out of his teens, who would come to symbolize the audacity and courage of India's youth. This was a time when teenagers were not just dreaming of personal glory or career success. They were dreaming of a free India, and they were ready to lay down their lives to turn this dream into reality. In the midst of this groundbreaking era, emerged a young revolutionary, Khudiram Bose, whose story has inspired generations. Born into a Bengali Kayastha family, Khudiram Bose's life was shaped by tragedy and resilience from an early age. The world of Khudiram Bose was one filled with adversity. He was born into a Bengali Kayastha family, a community known for its rich cultural and intellectual heritage in India. However, the universe had a cruel twist in store for him. At a tender age, he suffered the heart-wrenching loss of both his parents. This tragedy could have broken many, but for Khudiram, it only served to strengthen his resolve. After the death of his parents, Khudiram found himself in the care of his elder sister, Aparupa. Despite the harsh circumstances, he was raised with an abundance of love and care. He grew up in a challenging environment, yet he was never short of determination or courage. The harsh realities of life had taught him to be resilient and to face life's hardships head-on. From a very early age, Khudiram showed a keen interest in revolutionary activities. His spirit was ignited by the stories of bravery and sacrifice that were part of India's rich history. He was deeply moved by the tales of heroes who had stood up against oppressive forces, and these stories inspired him to fight for his own people. It was during these formative years that Khudiram joined the Anushilan Samiti, a revolutionary group that was at the forefront of India's struggle for freedom. His involvement in this group was a turning point in his life. It was here that he learned about the principles of revolution and the importance of standing up against injustice. Khudiram's early life was a crucible of trials and tribulations, but it was these experiences that shaped his indomitable spirit. The loss of his parents, his upbringing in a challenging environment, and his early involvement in revolutionary activities all played a significant role in shaping the man he would become. These early experiences laid the foundation for Khudiram's later involvement in the Indian independence movement. At a time when the nation was yearning for freedom, Khudiram joined the ranks of those who were willing to risk everything for their country. With a heart full of courage and a soul ignited with the spirit of revolution, Khudiram Bose found his calling in the Indian independence movement. As a young boy, he had already lost his parents, but what he found was a cause worth dedicating his life to. The Anushilan Samiti, a revolutionary group that opposed British rule, became the crucible where Khudiram's revolutionary spirit was forged. The Anushilan Samiti was more than just a group. It was a movement that aimed to shake the very foundations of colonial rule in India. Khudiram, with his fiery spirit and indomitable courage, fit right in. Here he was not just a member, but a participant in the relentless pursuit of independence. His involvement in the movement was not limited to mere participation. Khudiram took on tasks that required immense bravery and a willingness to risk it all for the cause. He was involved in a series of revolutionary activities, each more daring than the last. His fearless spirit and his unwavering commitment to the cause made him a force to be reckoned with among the ranks of the revolutionaries. Every act of defiance, every plot against the British, Every step that Khudiram took was a testament to his absolute dedication to the cause of independence. He was not just fighting for his own freedom, but for the freedom of an entire nation that had been shackled under colonial rule for far too long. As Khudiram delved deeper into the world of revolution, his commitment to the cause of independence only grew stronger. He was ready to risk his life, his future, everything he had for the cause he believed in. Little did he know, his commitment to the cause of independence was about to put him on a path that would forever etch his name in history. In an act of defiance against colonial rule, Khudiram, along with Prafulla Chaki, plotted to assassinate a British judge. Their objective was clear: disrupt the oppressive British administration that had long suppressed their motherland India. Their target was the magistrate Douglas Kingsford, known for his harsh sentencing of Indian nationalists. Their plan was audacious and risky. They decided to attack Kingsford's carriage as it left the European Club, a symbol of British privilege in India. They intended to throw bombs at the carriage, a drastic act of protest that they hoped would inspire others to rise against the colonial regime. However, the fateful evening of the assassination attempt brought with it an unfortunate twist of fate. The duo missed their original target, Kingsford. Instead, their bombs hit a carriage carrying two British women, the wife and daughter of a barrister named Pringle Kennedy. This tragic mistake resulted in the untimely death of the two innocents. The aftermath of the incident was chaotic. Khudiram and Prafulla, now fugitives, were pursued relentlessly by the British authorities. Prafulla, cornered and unwilling to be captured, chose to end his life rather than face the wrath of the British. Khudiram, on the other hand, was captured after an intense manhunt. His arrest was a significant blow to the Indian independence movement. However, it also underscored the lengths to which young revolutionaries were willing to go in their fight against colonial rule. It was a stark reminder of the immense sacrifices made by countless individuals for the cause of India's freedom. Though the assassination attempt did not go as planned, it marked a significant moment in the history of the Indian independence movement. Captured and sentenced to death, Khudiram faced his fate with an unyielding spirit, becoming one of the youngest martyrs of the Indian independence movement. His trial was swift, reflecting the British administration's determination to quell any rebellion that dared to challenge their rule. But even in the face of imminent death, Khudiram remained unflinching, his youthful face a testament to his unwavering resolve. His execution sent shockwaves throughout the country. The sight of this young man, barely 18 years old, climbing the gallows with an unbroken spirit, sparked a wave of indignation and resistance. It was a sobering moment, a stark reminder of the gravity of the struggle for independence. Among his fellow revolutionaries, Khudiram's sacrifice was met with a mix of grief and admiration. His actions, while controversial, were seen as a testament to his courage and dedication. Many lauded him as a hero, a symbol of the struggle against British oppression. Even those who denounced the violence, such as Mahatma Gandhi, could not ignore the impact of his actions. Among the general population, Khudiram's execution sparked a deep-seated anger and a renewed determination to fight for freedom. His story, his sacrifice, resonated with millions, becoming a source of inspiration for countless others who joined the fight for India's independence. In the years that followed, Khudiram's legacy lived on. His name became a rallying cry, a symbol of defiance against oppressive rule. His story was passed down through the generations, inspiring countless others to stand up and fight for their rights. Khudiram Bose's life may have been short-lived, but his legacy continues to inspire, reminding us of the sacrifices made in the pursuit of India's freedom.
We put so much effort to create these videos. Please show your support. Do comments what type of biographies you would like to see, and please subscribe to this channel for more content like these. Thanks for watching.